Why did we have to sell almost 40 million fucking copies of a game to finally get a good video game series adaptation? The Last of Us HBO series finally gave us a not just good, but a great video game adaptation that has everyone talking, not only about this series, but about what it could mean for future video game adaptations. Let's talk about why this show is amazing for the gaming industry. To start, The Last of Us on PlayStation was given basically unanimous praise from critics and fans because it delivered an experience to players. It had memorable characters, fun gameplay, a captivating atmosphere, tons of lore, and above all, a damn good story. They're sticking to what made fans of the video game series love it so much, which is sticking to the source material. By sticking to the source material, they're pleasing the fans from the PlayStation side while also using a tested and proven story that could draw in non-gamers on the streaming and entertainment side. While straying from the source material slightly can be good when it's used to enhance certain elements of the story and adapt it for a movie or series, typically when this is done, it's because either the source material of the game was weak or there is too much material for there to be covered in a 2-hour film, so a new narrative is created using the lore and characters from that game's universe. While this can work if done correctly, more often than not, what we've seen from history is that these video game movies tend to flop, or at the very least, we almost never get something great. We can look at a semi-recent example with Warcraft 2016, a movie that had a lot of potential where there is a ton of lore, story, and source material to work off of from the franchise, but in order to really flesh out the story and bring the best from this IP, it really needs a full TV series in order to do so. Games like The Last of Us are so detailed to the point where some of the lore even has its own lore, and just the main story by itself can take on average about 14 hours to complete. Not to mention that the first episode of The Last of Us series itself was almost a movie, clocking in at 82 minutes, and that was just to set up the fucking exposition. There's no way you're doing a story-driven game like this justice even in a 3-hour movie format, which is almost what happened a few years ago. This is why when it comes to long story-driven games, we need reputable studios and streaming platforms to work on these projects in TV series format to bring the vision of the original creator to life, rather than just doing a movie adaptation that doesn't have the time to do these games justice. If you need evidence of this working, just look at the success of shows like Castlevania, Arcane League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and even the Witcher series on Netflix, which I know originally was adapted from a book, but you get the point. And we're already starting to see this happen because just recently Amazon and Sony announced they're working to bring a God of War TV series to life and made it clear that their goal is to keep the values of the game while expanding just enough that if you're not familiar with the God of War franchise, you can still watch it and enjoy it. And don't get me wrong, just because a game is great and has a lot of the pieces needed for a great adaptation doesn't mean that it'll be easy or even should be done. For example, Elden Ring won Game of the Year 2022, and while it is a critically acclaimed game that has an engaging atmosphere, awesome gameplay, an incredible amount of lore and an excellent story, most of it is revealed to the player through the gameplay, reading item descriptions, and walking around the game world. You could literally play this game, defeat all the bosses, get the best gear in the game, and then finish the game without even knowing that there was really a story in the first place, and tons of hidden lore hidden behind certain quest lines and item descriptions. The game was made that way intentionally because it was made to give the people that wanted a story one, while those that prefer to have the traditional Souls-like action RPG experience, just that and nothing more. While all of the pieces for a great adaptation might be there, some things are really challenging to translate to other forms of media. The Last of Us on HBO was able to get great actors and work closely with the creators of the game and pour the time and energy needed to make this show a hit. As long as reputable studios pick up the right video game IPs and are committed to working with the creators of the games to bring these games to the big screen, this could hopefully be the first of many more great video game adaptations that we get. Anyways, that's just one guy's thoughts on The Last of Us HBO series and what it means for the video game industry. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to Visual Vitamin for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.